And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for more. This is part two for Otaku Cafe, because this is now time for the award. Sorry, not the awards, the top 10 for summer, some honorable mentions, and then we're going to close out with our fall watch list. So it's been a long day. We had a lot of awards to give out. A lot of deserving winners, some questionable, some we had to switch around. But we are here to discuss all of these things. Gentlemen, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, as always, we are going to start with our honorable mentions. So, Chris, honorable mention number 3.
I honestly suck at picking honorable mentions and all that shit just because I like my top 10, but this one was hard for uh the honorable mentions. So I sort of want to do something different where I do recommendations just because uh I get to talk about shows that I watched.
Okay.
There's there's 13 is going to be a dishonorable mention where recommendation where I'd be like, hey, watch the show because yeah. So my number 13, which is my watch it just to see what it's like. It's going to be Dated with My Stepsister. Um, I, as I've said before in the 2 times I talked about it, I don't get the fucking hype for this show. But people love it. People like it. They rave over it. I thought it was just the coolest fucking slow burn, or the slowest slow burn of the season. Where, yes, the romance was supposed to take forever, but it didn't really mean the show needed to do everything as slow. There was too many moments where nothing was happening, where they spent too much time on scenes, and I didn't like the characters that much. The only time I actually was excited for this show was episode 9 or 10, when Saki was like, "Hey, I'm gonna stop feeling feelings for my stepbrother," and main character is like, "Hey, I'm gonna start feeling feelings for my stepsister," and they threw that away the next episode. Uh, so yeah, watch it and fucking comment down below and say if I'm an idiot or if I'm wrong. Or
Gaslight, guys, gaslight Chris as much as you can for my amusement.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Give us.
That's what Cat does to you. So I was like, this is hilarious.
Yes.
Starman, honorable mention number 3.
My number 3 honorable mention, which is 13 on my list, is none other than Too Many Losing Heroines. Too Many Losing Heroines had to be mentioned. It's one of those shows that I think when I'm watching MAL is ranked too high, but at the same time, this show gets a lot right, from the animation to actually just kind of flipping the trope on its head, where these girls just can't find love, and then you have some interesting, moments between the characters. There are times where I think the show doesn't know what kind of show it wants to be, but I like the fact that there's a platonic, a non-romantic relationship between Nikimizu and Anna, and even though they kind of poke around with the idea, he's like, nah, I don't like you like that. We just friends. She a homie because I can't date her, bro. She just ain't my type. But what got me with the show is the best episodes. Ethan fucked me up, right? This is why I lose faith in what the shit he say sometimes, bro. Because he said towards the end the show started to dive, and I honestly was just like, bro, the last 2 episodes finally gave me the show that I wanted. The entire anime, I would tell anybody the best 2 episodes of the entire anime is episodes 11 and 12. The last 2 episodes.
11, yes. I'm again. So
the last two episodes of the show are the best episodes. They just by far none. They're the best 2 to me. But shout out to boy who's trying to find, the best water in school, man. But that's my number 13.
Okay. Even?
It was also losing heroines, and this is between this and Atri. And Matt, you convinced me to drop Atri based off of our conversation way back about 3.5 hours ago. But I chose losing heroines because when it was all said and done, yes, the animation was good. Yes, I thought Nukamizu. No, I didn't. Nukamizu's a putz. I didn't like Nukamizu. Nukamizu's a putz. He is a good supporting boy in terms of everything that I mentioned previously when I gave him the award. But as an MC, I think he's a putz. Hated Anna. She provided nothing for me except consistent annoyance. I didn't like Komari at first because I don't like characters. Admittedly, I don't like characters that have stunted social development to that degree. But over the course of the season, Komari definitely warmed up to me. Lemon is Lemon. I love Lemon for what it was, even though she didn't really add a hell of a lot other than like cute dark girl with tan lines. I still liked her from that degree a lot more than I liked Anna. I agree with Starman's point in terms of episode 11 being the best episode of the series, and that is a great selling point for the series as a whole to what it could have been. I hated episode 12. It just pissed me off. Anna just pissed me the fuck off. I hated it. I dropped it. Literally, you want to know something? When this show first started, I'll be honest with you guys, I had it as high as I think 4 or 6. I don't remember exactly. But through I think half the season, I had it somewhere between 4 and 6. And then each week it just and then it just dropped and dropped. And then by episode 12, I was fed up with it. I hated episode 12. I'm not a fan of it. Starman and I will perpetually disagree on episode 12. I agree, though, episode 11 was the best. But in any case, good animation, decent storytelling, definitely should have been better. I agree with Starman. I don't get the hype. I don't get where in God's green creation this is an 8 out of 10. Where is this a 4.25 or 4.5 out of 5? Where? I don't
this shit is almost 9. This is top 5. This is one of the top 5 shows of the season.
Where? At what point did we get that?
I think by being original, really getting outside the box and really just giving you a show with all the main characters are women. And I think that's where it went left for you. And I completely understand.
I don't hate that. No, I don't hate that. It's funny, but I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
He's like, down with feminism.
No, I don't hate it, but bro, I don't get the show. You're the best girl. They voted. Anime Corner voted this girl the best girl. You know why? It's because fat people wish they could fucking eat like her and not.
You just make the weirdest excuses for why people.
No, I swear that's what it feels like.
Oh, sure.
It's what it feels like. You fat motherfuckers wish you could fucking eat like her and not gain a single pound like Anna.
Anna was awesome, bro, because Anna had so much personality. Like, these characters weren't just your run-of-the-mill copy and paste dairy types. There were no dairy types in this anime. There was no tsundere. There was no yandere. There were no dairy types in this anime. They completely.
That's a fair assessment.
They completely circumvented all female.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Female character was nuanced, and every relationship was different. These girls just wanted relationship. It didn't become the anime I wanted, but by the end, once they kind of got the juggling act about the literature club thing underway, and we actually got this get them stand. That's why I like 12, because in episode 12, bro, Anna taking these shots with her phone, and you about to have me bump this shit up now that I'm talking about it. But Anna taking the shots with her phone, and we get to see the Samsung and the iPhone picture. We get to see the filters. We get to see the one, but just them doing things like that, and then we get the
Lulu. I hate the Lulu women.
All right, Matt, you next, because I'm not gonna spend 20 minutes.
No, this is what we're gonna talk about. We said from the jump, this is gonna be it. I'll even put this motherfucker back on my list so we can have this goddamn conversation. Talk to me, motherfucker.
You didn't have to. You just chose violence. You chose violence this morning.
No, I chose it because it was slightly better than Atri. I really wanted to give it to Atri. I was just making a great comeback, but it didn't quite get there.
For its category, losing Harris is at the top of its category. Unfortunately for me, the reason why I said 13, because it was stacked against a lot of good sequels and some pretty dope entries that I feel like they were more easily recommended. This one is cool. It's a cool 3 out of 5 for me. I just wasn't an 8. It's a 3 out of 5 for me. That's why I landed.
I gave it a 6, I think, on Mal. I gave it a 3 out of 5, but I gave it a 6 on Mal.
It met all my expectations. It just didn't exceed any.
They didn't see nothing from me except animation. Great animation. All right, I'm sorry, man. I'm taking up your time. Go.
It's okay. It's okay. My honorable mention number 3 is Isekai Suicide Squad. You know what? Writing wise for it, I really didn't like it. It's very cookie cutter in terms of an Isekai. However, with the Suicide Squad characters, it's entertaining as hell. I liked the dynamics of a lot of people. I liked the chemistry with a lot of them. So just getting all that and in a fantasy setting with all these characters and the fights weren't bad. The fights were pretty good. Not gonna lie. Also like some of the designs, especially Joker. Joker's design in this is fucking fantastic. Um, yeah, I wish it could have been more for me to grade it higher, but for what it was as a test for anime in WB, just violent entertainment. That's what you got, and it exceeded that. So good on them. But all right, honorable mention 2, Chris.
This is my neutral recommendation. The only reason why it's not like higher on my list is because of how honestly, because of how short the episodes were, and I wanted more plot for these characters. It's gonna be Magical Girl and Evil Lieutenant. Um, I love this series. This was a good series, but like it needed more substance.
Sorry, I missed it. What was it, Chris?
But it's a good watch. My number 2 is or my base recommendation is Magical Girl and Evil Lieutenant.
Okay.
Starman.
My honorable mention number 2 is going to be A Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It was stacked. I really felt like this season got back to what made the slime interesting. It's a lot of world building. It never was a shonen series. It never was about him being a demon lord. But ever since they got the demon lord, everybody just got it in their head that this is supposed to be an action show. I'm judging the overall season because I didn't judge the season the first core. I gotta put them all together. So if I'm judging the second core entirely, this would actually be ranked higher. But it was a lot of slow. I mean, it was a lot slower. There was a lot more talking, and but when they got to the festival arc, I was like, oh, the festival arc is dope. But building up to the festival arc, really trying to just get the world and get the politics and stuff together, it just always feels like an ongoing cast. And sometimes I question, maybe we ranked this show too high when it came out. Maybe this shit never would, because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Slime never was a knockout the part that it was. I really think we overrated this show from the jump.
I don't about the OP characters, bro. Like, we're opposites from that perspective. I for one enjoy the fact that Rimuru and his gang are OP. I want to see them be OP. I firmly appreciate the politics and this principle of creating a utopian society. They even alluded to it in the first half, which is something that I was interested in. I think very early on in the first half of the third season, they specifically said that there was a time where somebody had done basically what Rimuru was doing, and then whatever mighty god destroyed that civilization. And now we have Rimuru doing that again. And so I'm invested in that piece. I'm invested in the politics and the world building, but like I had mentioned on the show the week before last, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago when I did my review of Slime and closed it out, I really felt like just there were times during all the talking, I just didn't care. Give me something more of substance. Like when everything was all said and done, like I understood you had to get the prep work and the back work for the festival. And when the festival actually happened, it was pretty solid, with the exception to me of the fighting tournament, because the whole thing with Gabata is not a character I really care about.
Bro, like, the Demon Lord art spoiled y'all. That's all it was. But
that might be a fair assessment. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, I'm just on a different spectrum from it than you are.
But that is, for me, it's my honorable mention. It's one of them shows that it didn't blend into it bled into the background too much, and I didn't appreciate that, so I had to mention it.
Okay. All right, Ethan, what's yours?
I had this show at firmly 4 or 5 when it finished. And over the course of the rest of the season, you guys have convinced me to bump it down and down and down and down. My number 12 is Code Geass. When it's all said and done, I'm a simpleton. I enjoyed all that Code Geass provided me. I firmly am in agreement. It is not the original. It never will be. I don't think. I hope that's not what they were going for, because then they failed spectacularly if that's what they were going for. But nonetheless, Code Geass is it's an immeasurably great series. And does it stand out in the pantheon of like the best of the best? No, it doesn't. But I firmly enjoyed everything it gave me. I agree with Starman. He never I liked the Akito series. He did not like the Akito series. I liked it, and I thought this Code Geass was better than the Akito series from that perspective.
It was definitely better than this, but continue.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. The animation was crisp, fan service was fun, action is always fantastic. Better the action itself, in terms of the actual like visuals of it, is the best that the show has ever done. The consequences, the backdrop to those fights, nowhere near where the other ones are. 100% agree. But I enjoyed it for what I got. I was never going to take it off my list, but due to all the loopholes and the gaps and things that you guys constantly brought up that constantly made sense, is why I bumped it down to an honorable mention compared to where it was, which was firmly in my top 10 when it was all said and done. So,
okay. Honorable mention number 2, Atri, My Dear Moments.
I was surprised.
I did want a little more drama. More of the second half was the best part of it. First half was just okay, but I understand that it's paced like a visual novel, and that's kind of like how it would go in a visual novel. So I can respect that. However, the fact that a romance drama type of it, I wish I kind of picked it up a little bit, because if it did just a tiny bit, I probably could have given it a best couple or possibly a best romance. I really could have. But I still enjoyed it for what I got. Is it perfect? No. Is it enjoyable? Sure. It's like Chobits, but it's wholesome Chobits almost in a way. So without all the fan service etchy stuff mixed in with it. So I still like this. So Autry is my honorable mention too. All right. Last honorable mention.
This here is my honorable recommendation, which you guys out there in the fucking ethos need to fucking watch. No Longer Allowed in Another World. The fucking story's fucking amazing. The characters are great. Sensei's an amazing main character, and you're just gonna fucking fall in love with it.
Okay. Starman?
All right. Hold on. This is when the shit really, I gotta think about this. Because if I'm gonna do a swap, I need to do a swap now. I'm gonna do a swap. I need to do a swap now. If I do a swap, I really need to do a swap now. So what am I gonna do for a swap? Because I kind of feel like I need a swap here.
Okay.
Follow your heart, buddy. You said it never leaves you astray.
Follow my heart. What is my last honorable mention?
Clearly on this show, your heart can just be Delulu, since we are at times. So that's perfectly fine too.
Well, Chris made an interesting point with something he said earlier, and I've been really thinking about it since he said it. Come back to me, and after Matt, I'm gonna close this one out because I need to think about this.
Ethan?
This was tough. This was literally between two yaoi anime. I chose for my number 1 honorable recommendation, Twilight Out of Focus. Reality speaking, yaoi anime is not for as popular as it is. It's not for many of, especially Western audiences. I'd say it's not for everybody, right? Twilight Out of Focus is one of those where like the romance aspect from each of the three character couples, when it was all said and done, I thought was probably one of the best things they did. But Matt, to your point, when we discussed this several weeks ago, we didn't get enough shine, specifically on our premier couple at the early on, whose names
Yeah, I wanted more from the original couple, especially from the guy who had like an abused
yes,
as a boyfriend,
yes.
basically grooming him.
It started, yeah.
Second
It started
relationship,
out-
I love. The third one, I really
Mhm.
didn't.
Yeah.
And
The best relationship to me out of the two was Ichikawa and Jin. But
yes,
I would have wanted more, especially with the shock value of the first two episodes. I raved about that to you, and I'm glad you don't hate have watching this show.
it didn't make my list, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, like you don't regret watching this show.
Oh
which
no, absolutely not.
At least I'm appreciative of that. But to your point, I agree with you. I would have wanted more, especially with that shock value early on in the season from that piece. It does get props for the sexual aspect. Again, not for everybody's taste, but they did it tastefully. And I appreciated it from that front. And at the end of the day, to me, it's still because I haven't watched many yaois, but I've watched a decent amount now. It's still up there as one of the better yaois that I've seen. Is it a Sasaki and Miyano? No. Is it an all-timer like a Given that I have yet to see? No. But or like a Yuri on Ice? No, I haven't seen that one either. But again, great things I've heard. So, but it's very serviceable from that perspective, and I enjoyed it. And like it reminded me a lot of Horimiya. I noticed several shows nowadays are doing that Horimiya thing, like when the love blossoms, when you have that real intimate, like happy moment. You see the colors and the vibracity of everything. It really stands out, and they did that, and I love seeing stuff like that. So that was a kudos to that. Animation was solid. The story itself is just teen boys that haven't found love or were in fucked up situations find each other and they fuck. And simple enough. It's not world amazing, but it's cool.
My final honorable mention is Losing Heroines. I actually had this at number 10, but I swapped it. This will be my only swap. I liked, again, if you take it in as more of a slice of life than a rom-com, it's a little more digestible. Anna wasn't bad. Is she like Aqua but without the being useless goddess? Sure. Instead of a goddess, she's a glutton. Fine. I can live with it. I won't go like I die already type of thing. Lemonade bad. Komari definitely shined in that last arc for Volume 3, the light novel. So kudos for that. It's a different approach for how these things go because you get to see what happens when these girls actually don't get picked by the person they really want, like the aftermath of it and how to deal, like how to move on, basically. Even though for some of them it's hard, for some it's just accepted. Like, all right, I lost.
Komari did the best job of it. Komari, for sure, by a country mile, did the best job of acceptance and moving on. Lemon still casually flirts. Lemon's still a little bad. She casually flirts with Homeboy still.
And Anna just has.
She's delulu. She's a lost fucking cause. Even though she's gonna be the one that Nukumizu probably picks.
I wouldn't call her a lost cause.
I mean, she's gonna be the one Nukumizu picks, but he's got better options.
Yeah, it's just more of I liked everything else better. Otherwise, it probably could have creeped up, but compared to everything else, I really couldn't. I wanted to keep it on top 10, but again, less than top 10 are more or less the same. Let's just put it at that. Okay. Starman, what did you decide?
I made my adjustment. And I kind of hated to do it, but it was just like it was so stacked. But this show, number 11 for me, my final recommendation is going to be No Longer Allowed in Another World. It made my initial 10, but I kind of thought about it. I did expect more. It didn't end. They kept the story going. I kind of really want to see what the story really goes. A lot of the episodes were like a lot of the copy and paste, but it kind of picked up towards the end. In the beginning, it's more or less it's still interesting, but it's one of those, they don't do anything in particularly well. But Sensei really cares to show as best as he can, being a very interesting character. But it's supporting cast around him. Like, you've seen characters like this around the main character before. So it's one of those where if I follow my 3 rules of recommendations, which are how well was it produced? 2, how well can I recommend it? And 3, how much did I enjoy it? It kind of like it never peaks in either one of those areas. So that's why I had to give it number 11.
Mhm.
My last honorable mention.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Chris, number 10, lead us off.
Here we go. The number 10, I'm giving this to VTuber Legend. Because while some people don't like enjoy part of the littles and the all the different forms of degeneracy this show brings,
I loved a lot of
is-
it, just not the Littles. Littles is the only one
Yeah.
I fucking despised.
I loved basically how it portrayed the VTubers and the VTuber corporation, and it's not like fucking Kizuna Ai's fucking shitty ass idol anime, which was just them trying to make a VTuber series, but it was just about the singing and dancing. It was the idol part, not the VTuber part. And tried to get you to buy her crypto, or no, not her crypto, her fucking what's the stupid fucking monkey called? Fuck, I can't remember. Whatever, her crypto. Yeah, I fucking loved it, and Aoyuki was a great protagonist. The other VTubers in the agency complimented her well, either trying to get to like break past her fucking degeneracy and make her more degenerate, or trying to reel her back on her alcoholism. But yeah, VTuber was great.
Okay. Okay. Starman, number 10.
All right, man. Let's get this top 10 underway, man. Top 10 was one of my favorites. I really enjoyed it. So what I will say about this show, I did give it a 3.5. That is because I did enjoy it. However, I enjoyed it more than I could probably recommend it, but I think they produced it really, really well. So with that being said, I'm talking about Mayo Naka Punch.
Okay.
I enjoyed my Naka Punch, man. Yeah, man. It's 3.5 out of 5. But definitely great cast of characters. Very fun to watch. It's top 10 of the season, in my opinion, coming in at number 10.
Okay.
Oh, my turn. Sorry. Number 10 for me is the second of the two yaois. I chose cross-dressing anime as my number 10. Senpai is an Otoko Noko. When it's all said and done, it's not stronger in many aspects than Twilight Out of Focus. However, there's a more sentimental value, I think, which puts it significantly above Twilight Out of Focus. And that is the reality, I feel, as someone who's not in the community, the LGBTQ plus community. I feel as a straight person where for one of the first times I found real relatability from the stories that I've heard from those in the community of lack of acceptance and dealing with the hardships and the trauma of having people that constantly make fun of you, look down on you, think you're weird, creepy, having asshole parents that don't accept you for who you are, and just the fears and the internal anxiety that's involved with, am I weird? Is this the right thing? Am I really this way? Why am I like this? Things of that nature. And I think this show does a really good job of portraying those things in those aspects, specifically with Makoto having a very homophobic mother because of the fact that their father came out as a crossdresser, or her father, we find out later on, came out as a crossdresser, and having an understanding. She's still a bitch, but in the same degree, we get a very heartwarming end from that perspective, with her having more acceptance, where it's no longer pure hatred involved with that. There's more toleration for it. She still thinks it's weird. She still doesn't understand it. She's still very worried as a mother who doesn't understand this aspect of her son's life, but she's become more tolerable to the fact that her son is living his true self. In addition to that, we get the heartwarming moment where we see Makoto in his element and he's in his true happiness when he's in his girl cross-dressed form, and the fact that we get that moment between the parents and that line, it always will stand out for me. I think that line will always stand out for me for a while when it comes to LGBTQ plus anime, yaoi anime, is our son is fine. He's more fine than we ever gave him credit for. And I think that's something that's really relatable, not just when it comes to homosexual anime, but in terms of actualities of living as a parent. You know, you constantly have these fears, and you constantly project this self-image of what you want your children to be, instead of allowing themselves to express themselves in however manner they see fit, as long as it's appropriate, legal, and so forth and so on, right? Like, the principle of accepting their happiness as their happiness, I think, is one of the biggest takeaways from this show, and something that I appreciated. The characters are fine, the musical composition was okay, animation was okay, but I think the overarching story surrounding those elements is really what takes this significantly above a Twilight Out of Focus or many other yaois that we see. We get a lot of romance with yaoi. We don't really get the actual reality of what it's like to be gay, to be trans, things of that nature.
No,
I haven't had these
it's not
thoughts.
trans anime again. It's not.
It's
It's
around.
not even gay. It's not even yaoi.
Again, I just my thought.
Polygamy more or less, but
Yeah, but in any case, I haven't had these like actual sentimental ideas since we had the trans episode in Wonder Egg Priority. That was a major, amazing episode from that piece. So I think, just overarching from my perspective, I think this
And
is
if
why.
you in the cross dress, bro, we'll support you, man. I mean, like,
No, I don't have any desire to look like a woman. I would be an
I
ugly
mean,
woman, but
like,
I'm just saying.
like, bro, drag is an art form.
he hates him so much. I'll become one myself.
No, there's bro. I'll be honest. I'm
Honestly.
honest on the air, bro. There are certain trans women and cross-dress women. Like, God made a mistake. He should have made you a woman, because you are a fine-looking person.
Enter the drag race, bro. By all means, bro.
No, I'm just saying, bro. Realistically speaking, like, that RuPaul's Drag Race has never been my type of thing whatsoever. I'm not a fan of that at all. But there are certain trans women, cross-dressed women, where you genuinely look at them, you're like, wow, God made a mistake making you a man. You would have been a 9 out of 10 woman if you
Bro,
were.
move on. You gonna get this whole pod canceled, dog.
No,
Pause.
that's a personal belief, and that's a compliment.
Oh,
That's a compliment.
Matt,
I
what's
might
your
have just
number?
lost a
Chat?
lot of Republican
What?
Christians, but so be it. We don't.
What's
like
your
that
number,
on.
Chat?
I'll wait till he's
I'm done. I'm just saying.
Mayonaka punch.
we're twinsies.
Twinsies, probably the only time. We'll see.
I tried to give a heartfelt like idea on this, and it was just like went sideways.
But it's also you, so that's why I was like, yeah, we gotta mute you.
Ethan, boy.
I don't feel I said anything bad. I just lost a bunch of like hardcore Republican Christians. Meh.
I mean, that's fine. I don't fucking care about that, but still.
Did I say anything offensive, Matt, to the community at all?
I was like, let's get the shows correct of what's what.
To me, it's not trans by definition, but it felt like that to me. Like, he's
That's
like,
the thing. The West likes to do that, and I get it. It gets something to relate to, you understand, but it's not. Even people from Japan who make these, like, hey, it's not that. Stop making it that. A cross-dressing culture doesn't automatically equal trans.
he's like, I don't want to live as a boy. So like, but he doesn't want to live as a girl.
No, he says he wants to be a boy. He's a boy who loves cute things.
Yeah, and that's totally fine.
He never said, I want to be a boy that likes cute things. He said, I am a boy that likes cute things, but I don't want to live as a boy or a girl. Literal verbatim. He said, I don't want to live as a boy or a girl. I want to live as myself. That's a verbatim
fine,
quote.
but he's not saying he still identifies as one. That's the difference. It's not identify as a woman.
You know what? I can't wait till we get to the end of this season, this current upcoming season, because I can't wait for Ethan's horrible Rama 1/2 tape.
For what? Fuck. That's right. That's right.
Wait for his Ranma tape.
Listen, I saw episode 1 and I liked it. It was hilarious.
Baby, I'm ready for your seasonal Rama tape.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be on the lookout.
But yeah, there's not much to add with Mayonaka Punch. It's just entertaining. Nothing great or something really to write home about, but it was still fun. I like the characters, like the concept of this again, vampires doing YouTube type of thing. Yuki, being like the strict and type of thing. They find out she's actually a fucking video game streamer on top of it. I wish we saw a mother though. That's probably one of my takeaways. I wish we saw the actual mother at the end of the finale. Like, come on.
Sean, why you got your forehead on the camera, bro?
He's messing with something.
I was doing some stuff on my computer, bro. My forehead gorgeous. You don't see, bro. I do Korean surgery, bro.
You make it. You running a give him a run for his money on that, bro.
Bro. I don't care, bro. I got glass skin. You better act right.
I didn't say your skin was bad. I just said your forehead was just all screen.
I know. You're welcome.
Yeah, you gotta look at it. Pucker up. Just pucker out the kiss of the head.
What is in my eye?
I wish I had a permanent marker. Be able to draw anything on that.
Chris, number 9.
My number 9 is here specifically because of where it started in the story. Instead of seeing like how most shonen go from like beginning to end, we're just starting right at the end of his final year of school. I'm going with fucking Wistoria, Wand and Sword. I wish we could have seen like his beginning rise to like how he got to where he was. We see like glimpses of him being tortured by childhood friend, but we don't actually see like him mature into the swordsman he is now.
Wow, I never thought of that. That left me shocked. I never thought of that, Chris.
Got a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I'm gonna leave it where it is, but that's a fucking brilliant point. God damn. Sorry. All right, cool.
Wisteria, Wand and Sword. That's my number 9, bro. For the exact.
Damn.
I mean, the animation was good, but like I have different reasons. Wand and Sword for me was bro, outside of Will being just a combination of two characters that I do think are awesome. Will wasn't an interesting enough main character for me. It was just like, yeah, what you do is awesome, but you're a pushover. You still are getting like, bro, you can't come in second place in this tournament and everybody's still calling you out your name and then it's just so many open questions. My issue with Wand and Sword, it should have been 2 cores. It should have been back-to-back cores. It should have been 24 episodes. You can't give me 12. And even though you announced the season 2, you didn't say when. So this is one of them shows that you can't do 12 episodes and think this is going to be okay. You need to give me more. It's just like, I feel like from where they started to where they finished, pacing aside, it needed more episodes than just 12 to really give this story something to chew on.
Ethan?
Damn. Good stuff. I have to edit my review on that. Anyway, my number 9. I don't know where Starman has ranked this, if he has ranked this. I assume he has ranked this.
I'm still here. I'm listening. I have to go grab some eye drops. Go ahead.
I gave it to Indivisible by Twins. I gave it to Indivisible by Twins.
Ew.
When it's all said,
ew.
When it's all said and done with Indivisible by Twins, it is messy, it is cringe, it is supremely toxic, but goddamn, was it entertaining? It was entertaining.
It's not Girlfriend.
Huh?
It's not Domestic Girlfriend. That is the messiest you will ever see a love triangle be.
I believe you. It's on my to watch list. I have not watched it yet, but I believe you. But for what I have seen, like I said, when it's all said and done, it was entertaining. It was hilarious. The professor and all the what really made this show really was all the other auxiliary characters. All those other auxiliary characters, I think, saved the show from where it was. I like Naori and I like what's her face? Rumi in their own ways, but in this element together, it is rough. It can be cringe. June has a lot of redeemable points, but June is a putz. He's slightly less putsy than Nukamizu, but he's still kind of putsy. But in terms of just the show, I was entertained by it, and there was a lot of references that I mentioned this in my review. There's a lot of pop culture references, a lot of historical references. I appreciate those type of things. There was a lot of like elements. I don't know whether this was in the manga or whether they kind of just ad-libbed it based off of today's like world and like high schools and things like that. But like a lot of the language for the high school students was hip, was up to date. I appreciated those type of elements. So yeah, like it's not going to be something that I sit here and recommend, realistically speaking. But I found entertainment value in it every single week, where I wanted to see, all right, where is this fuckery going to go? And it went to places I didn't think it was going to go. And I understand your hatred for it, Matt, but I can't say I hated it.
Well, I listen to all that. I'm happy for you, or sorry for your loss.
I'm
sorry. That shit was fucking boring. I am sorry.
I don't think it was boring at all. Why was it boring?
I did not care about any of these fucking people. Like, there was like no personality in it except for Kaori being this gaslit of a sister. Rumi just freaking taking it. Like, she tries to defend herself, and now it's like, well, you failed, so yeah.
They're both wrong in their own ways.
They're both wrong. They're both awful. Drew is a fucking putz.
Yeah.
There's like literally no progress. It's, I don't know who I want. 12 episodes there. I don't know who I want.
So he goes with neither of them, and I really say he should go with one of the other side characters. He should
fuck
go.
Her friends. That's it.
Yeah, they should fuck her friends. I agree. And I hope he kind of does, so we can get even more crazy shit happening.
More interesting show if they would have just like pulled I would spoil that show. It's just one anime I saw a long time ago where that's what happens. The main character doesn't get the two girls fighting for him. He chooses another girl. We didn't see it coming. And it's a twist. I think the show would have been so much better. But see, that's the problem with shows in 2024. Back in the day, this show would have been 26 episodes. It's kind of like Cuckoos, where it's like, oh shit, this is getting interesting. Then it's like, okay, never mind. What the fuck?
Yeah, Cuckoos was a disappointment.
I still want a season 2 of Cuckoos though.
I do too, but it's still a disappointment.
We're getting it.
Yeah, it was. But no, did you rate this, Sean? I can't wait to hear your rating. Did you rate any 13?
Oh, did I rate it? Oh, everything so far is a 3.5 out of 5.
No. Is it in your 13?
What?
Is it in your 10? Indivisible.
Oh, Twins. No, Twins didn't make my list, bro. Come on,
damn.
Man. Let's be real, bro. I had fun watching this shit, but it didn't crack it. It didn't crack the list. Fuck no, bro. I did better shit with my time than these damn Twins. I watched way better shit than that.
All right. Damn. All right. So I was surprised. That was one shocker on top of you guys having a story at 9.
Yep, that's also mine.
Trips, bro. Trips. We triplets.
Wow.
I did not care about the whole Will being I have no magic, or what's that thing called that they call him? Laggard, whatever. Yeah, I didn't care for that. It's just a more of, I'll prove you wrong. It's like Chris Benoit. You bet you can't kill your family. I'll prove you wrong.
Mm. Oh my god.
I'll prove you wrong, damn it. Now, that shit got old. I've seen that. It wasn't new, wasn't creative with it. Just the fact that half the students, they're like, I don't fucking like you guys. I ain't forgiving you, but he's going to anyway. So why the hell?
But that's typical shonen in its own way, you know. That's not really surprising.
But you can still make it good. That not really. And again, the whole ending to like, that's how we got here, and the beginning type of thing. It's weird. That this should have been just a continuous course. They're just we're gonna have a season 2. Maybe next year.
Thank you.
Action's fine. Animation, night, sure, but that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, number 9 for me. Number 8.
Yeah, I'm surprised I have this fucking low on my list. But like everything else I watched was like really fucking good. We're going with the Oshi no Go for number 8.
Wow.
Okay.
Yo.
No, there was nothing wrong with this season. It's just like
you liked everything
else better. I liked everything else better. Like
that's fair.
Taste is subjective.
Yeah.
Golly.
Oh my god.
And like the song was like the one song that they added, pop, whatever,
Pop 2 or something
was
like that.
great. Yeah, Poppin' 2 was good. Seeing fucking Ruby get her liar eyes, because that's the actual term for her, the dark stars, liar eyes. Yeah, that was, it was great. I don't know why it's like so fucking high or so low. But yeah, great.
Okay. Star?
Number 8 for me was the magical girl and evil lieutenant used to be enemies. The reason why that one ranked, honestly, this shit would have made my top 5 if it was a whole 22-minute episodes per episode. Like Chris said earlier when he gave it an honorable mention, really, you don't get any real background on nobody. But that's why it worked for it being 10 to 12 minutes each episode. Is it gets straight to the point. It's she's cute, and you got characters that you love, characters that you love to hate, and it was consistently funny. Like every episode was funny. Like this was like my best comedy. Like this shit was hilarious. Like there was not an episode that I ever watched that I just wasn't laughing or looking forward to seeing it. So yeah, it won one of my awards, so I had to push it up higher. So I it's something that I can really recommend. I can definitely recommend it to any fan of Madoka, any fan of Sailor Moon. I feel like if you like magical girls, you'll like this. But it also has a darker undertone when it comes to just some of the themes that they put in there and the fan service and stuff like that. So, but no, I think it's innocent and it's a cool, nice little story. I honestly will buy the manga and read it. This is a manga I buy.
Okay.
3.5 out of 5. Well, nope. Sorry, I lied. I'm gonna get this a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
The fucking cat.
The fucking cat.
All right, David, what's your number 8?
Gave it to Roshidere. I've talked about Roshidere a lot so far, but I mean, out of all the ROMs, realistically, like I said before, it's the most consistent. Alia and Kuze were the most consistent of the bunch when it came to couples, I feel. So it worked itself out well. Obviously, Yuki was the absolute star of the show. Point blank hilarious in so many different pieces. And so I appreciated that. One thing I guess that didn't help it in its rating as a whole is the fact that they didn't touch on the who is the mysterious friend that Kuze was first like interested in that was Russian, and who exactly is it. We suspect it's Masha, who I appreciate as a character in her own right. Definitely appreciated the hell out of Masha. And I really could have used a little bit more Masha. Would have liked to have seen that, but they don't allude to that, which is a disappointment from that perspective. But outside of that, the Russian is really nice and different. From that piece, the casual flirting and things like that, it's nice. It's decently paced in terms of the slow build, where it leaves you wanting to see more in a positive way. So, yeah, I'll give it to Roshidere.
That's where the show went left for me.
With what, Masha or the no who's the Russian friend?
Yeah, I was just like, bro, explore that. They just left that plot line hanging.
It's not gonna, for what it was in season 1, yeah, we wanted more, but it's obviously gonna be addressed later on. How they address it will be key from that perspective. It's gonna come off okay at minimum, but to the same degree, depending on what they reveal, perhaps in season 2,
it was just too short.
Like, why couldn't you do in season 1?
Yeah, it's double core, man. I'm telling you, I want to know what's up with the background between him and his sister, bro. Like,
and I want to see more on like another thing that I thought was interesting was the principle of the family dysfunction with Kuze in particular. I think it's very compelling, which was a positive, but in the same degree, maybe they could have spent that episode, like they went over the mother's perspective, right, where he went sideways with his mother after he basically rejected her because of emotional like abandonment, basically. But they could have gone from the father's perspective of like, why does he hate his father so much? Why does his father dislike him? And that'll obviously be covered again in later seasons, but they could have given us a little glimpse of that in the season as well. So that's also a negative. There are a lot of positives and negatives, I'd say. So it's kind of inconsistent from that side, but everything evens itself out to make it a solid anime for me.
All right.
Number 8 for me, My Hero Academia, season 7. I said I complained about, again, how it's paced, how it can be over the place. Like, you got like you're like when you get into like an intense part of the fight, they'll cut to another fight, and it's like, what the fuck? Why you blue balling me type of thing. I really did not like that. And how it's shot and everything, it is nice. It is nicely animated done. Some of the fights are really good though, but the fact that it's so much crisscross back and forth, I couldn't fully enjoy it. And the fact that it's gonna end on a cliffhanger and not the good kind when they're still in a middle of these battles. So I'm sorry, that's a turnoff. So I would have rated, I'm not gonna give it another grade up, but I'm only put it up here because of how some of the fights were and how those were animated, especially the one with Endeavor and Dobby. I like that nice conclusion. I know you
Gentle criminal.
Yeah, and that, but that's not like a reason for me to jump it up though.
It helped keep
the closure with Dobby is what I liked. I didn't care for Stars and Stripes, even though she did as support in Core 1. I didn't give a shit about the whole Bakugo thing. That just annoyed me to no end. So,
oh, my paper heart.
Yeah, fuck. I'm still mad at that. But yeah, Hero number 8. But it's the same. It's the same as Wisteria. That's just it. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Yeah,
Chris.
another one I'm surprised is this like low on the top 10, Spice and Wolf.
Oh.
I really enjoyed this season.
I know you gave it 4.5 when we talked about it.
Yeah, it's just like fucking. I liked everything else a little more. I enjoyed the extra content that I wasn't able to see when I originally watched this back in like fucking 06, 08.
Oh wait.
Yeah. It was just like refreshing to see these characters again.
Okay. Starman?
Number 7 for me is going to be Nier Automata Season 2. I literally finished up when you guys were like doing the news and, doing your reviews of some of your last, season episodes. I was just finishing it when we were setting up cameras. But being able to binge the last 5-6 episodes of this show, and I got everything but the last episode of English, man, bro, it was just so much that fucking happened because I never finished beating the game. So it's like they revealed a lot, and I ain't gonna even call it spoilers, but it was just so much that the switch between 2B to the reveal of 2E to her becoming A2 and 9S the entire fucking time being like, yo, you killed 2B, I got to kill you, like him being on this rampage. And he doesn't back down for the rampage. And it's like, it got violent. I'm talking about, I did not expect zombie robots. Zombie robots came, and then you get the twist at the end when the robots reveal like what the whole plan is to begin with, which explains why you keep getting so many different endings. And I thought, oh man, that's a hell of a fucking Shyamalan twist right there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The animation was good. Loved the fan service. I thought the character designs, I thought all of the androids were gorgeous. But to take Chris's point before I get off of this, it's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. But with that being said, there were at least 6 other anime I felt were just better, more enjoyable, and high I could recommend. But I had to throw this in the middle of my list. So Nier Automata Season 2, 4 out of 5, number 7.
Okay.
Before I qualify, my number 7 upwards are all 4s at minimum. So I also had Spice and Wolf as my number 7. When it's all said and done, I appreciated the what's the word I'm looking for? The analogy that Starman gave me, that this is just at its core, it's an economics anime, which I've never seen an economics anime, and I appreciated it. I definitely appreciated that. Holo is in a class of her own for various different reasons, positive and negatives. Craft, like I said, I gave him Best Boy. Like, I appreciated everything that he went through and all the ways that he got out of stuff and how he's able to deal with Holo and his growth. Same thing with Holo as well. Holo had a lot of growth. That's the thing. There's a lot of growth in this season. As someone who never saw the original, I thoroughly enjoyed the pieces. There was a good bit of drama. The animation was solid. The musical composition was underrated, I think. I think it had really good musical composition that fit the times, fit the imagery, fit the tone of the show. And I thought that was really well done. And over the course of a 24 episode season, I felt like it firmly deserved a place in the top 10 because of the fact that we got quality. There was really nothing in this show that made me like, meh, that was okay. Like, it was mid. Like, there was nothing I got that whatsoever. Didn't get that feeling once in 24 episodes, which is a really solid, what's it called? Reality when you think of a show where you didn't get a mid episode throughout the entire season. So I appreciated it very much. I firmly look forward to season 2. And yeah, just to everybody's point, at this stage, and I think I could talk for the conglomerate where we rank the shows, as much as it may shock us one way or the other. Clearly, there's a line in the sand where we just enjoyed other stuff more than what it is, and there's nothing that's a negative connotation to that reality. It's just, you know, different tastes and different enjoyments, but it's not to say that it was unenjoyable or less than any of the other shows. So,
Okay, that's fair. Hold on, we got a comment here.
Number 7.
Obium Man. But yeah, number 7 for me, Dear Friend Nokotan.
Huh.
I really liked it. I didn't take it seriously because a lot of people did. They were expecting something completely different, and that's really their fault. I really shouldn't have to hold your hand on something that is just what it is meant to be, a brain rot anime. It's a fucking Nichijou thing. There's complaints. There's a lot of complaints. I understand it. But if you just take this way too seriously, you're just looking at it wrong. Like, it's just mindless fun. That's exactly what it came out to do, and that is what I got, as that is how I took it. It wasn't going to be like this avant-garde, deep, funny thing. It's stupid. We know it's stupid. That's the point.
No fun police here.
I know. Fuck you and your. I know you're like fuck you and your fun.
Basically, that's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck you. You hate fun. I know that. But no, again, I was entertained. Some parts were not funny. Sure, that's what. Almost no comedy has a perfect, funny, every single second, every single minute, every single episode. It's never always going to be a hit. So, I'm glad that they are aware of what they are. So, we don't get a season 2. Sure, I'm content with the season 1. So that's why number 7, Different Nokotan.
Do they have enough content for a season 2?
I'm sure they.
Well, they got to graduate, don't they?
Yeah. Eventually, because they're in that infinite loop where it's always the first day of spring.
You know, I'll give you something else. Let me ask you this, just for shits and giggles before we move on.
Okay.
If this was an adult anime where they were adults and it was like this just mindless what the fuck, would it hit different? Would it hit better?
They be in an office instead of a school.
Yeah, it really depends on the jokes they do. It's not about where they are or work or school. It's what the jokes do.
I feel like maybe if it wasn't school based, maybe if it was like office based, maybe I would have enjoyed it slightly more.
I mean, it's possible. One day you need to go and find this anime called Excel Saga and just watch that.
I really don't want to watch Brain Rot.
Oh my god, that's such a good fucking series.
Chris, I'm trying to put the boy on. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, watch this.
I like linear storytelling, and it's just, you know,
that is the most linear brain rot storytelling you'll ever have.
Okay, I'll put it in for my food for thought. I will.
All right. Number 6, Chris.
Here we go. My number 6, fucking Nier Automata.
Okay.
They did so much fucking right adapting this series that, like, it's a no-brainer. It should be on the top 10. All the action, all the animation, the characters all did a good. All the characters did the way they made the characters fucking pull the story together, and fucking Yoko Taro's bringing in fucking new lore because that's his fucking game. They just did a good job bringing this game to the screen, to the animated screen.
If only he could make God act good.
Hey, we're watching season 2, so we can't.
We're trying to trust his vision. I know we are trying.
I believe in the vision.
Matt's 3 more episodes away from putting a bullet in his head.
Whoa, 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 wow, wow.
No. I'm 3 episodes away from questioning Yokotaro's methods.
Hey, Chris gonna hit him with that Lee Harvey Oswald swag.
All right, Starman, what's your 6?
Now my 6 is my best rom-com of the season, Kimi no Todoke. I gave it to Kimi no Todoke because it picks up off of season 2, following Sawako and her relationship with Shota Kazuhaya. I can't stand Kazuhaya, but he grows. But more than anything, you get Kento and you get Ayane's relationship, and you also get Chizuru and Ryu's. You get their relationship too, all as well as their coach Kazusuchi. He's still like just a crazy ass motherfucker. But you get so many of these characters, and they're just intertwined in daily school life and really just trying to figure out their relationships. I feel like this was the trendsetter for a lot of rom-com tropes for the past decade. Came from this anime, and this blueprint can be felt even now. And I think when you watch it, you really see that damn, everybody borrowed something from this show, and for them to like, you can tell that they. And you can tell that they influence so much because they do them, and it doesn't feel like they took from something else. So that's why it lands at number 6 at a 4 out of 5.
A little bit higher than you, Matt, but I put My Hero Academia as my number 6.
Okay.
When it's all said and done, again, simpleton mentality. I enjoyed everything that it was. I agree, Matt. The whole like cop out of now you have my heart because it's my entire living existence. That was annoying. It would have been a lot more poignant if they would have killed. They would have realistically, if they would have let Bakugo die, I would have put it at 2, straight up. I loved it.
It's not even that though. Like you wasted on that. You figure that would work for like trying to protect Deku and not just
if you wanted to do like the
random
my heart thing now for Deku.
Yeah, like him sacrifice for Deku. I'm pretty sure that would have been more impactful. But still, the heart thing is still fucking.
I mean,
stupid.
Bakugo is going to be the equivalent of Endeavor. Well, I guess his son, but
I was saying no. That's Todoroki.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but either way, to your point as well, Matt. I think one of the things that disappoints me is like we know now, especially thanks to you guys telling me, it's not going to end here. It's not a definitive conclusion. That's definitely a letdown and definitely loses points. That said, though, I mean, I have no qualms with the fights. All the fights are stupendously done from an animations perspective, from a hype perspective. I understand your point, where you said like there's too much going on to really appreciate everything. But in the same line of thinking, it doesn't affect me to that degree. But fair to you from that piece. I just enjoyed it. When it's all said and done, this is one of those ones that, long enough. I'm always going to give preference unless it's a complete shit show. I'm going to give preference to shows that are really longer based. And the fact that it was such a long season definitely helped it from that perspective. And, it's My Hero. It's one of the top 5 probably shonen, a top 10 shonen, wherever you want to place it, probably realistically maybe top 10, but it's one of the quintessential top 10 shonen of the modern generation. It's there for a reason. It constantly does what it does really well, and you know what you get with the show. And from the jump, from episode 1, we just get action and violence and death and things of that nature, and I appreciated the ride.
I'm just gonna say my piece again on My Hero. Like,
go ahead.
Matt, you brought it up that like this arc is all over the place. That's because it is. They're shoving in character development for characters that should have been developed by now.
Long ago, yeah.
That's fair.
We are in Endgame. And it's only been a year since Deku entered. Like, it hasn't even been a year since Deku entered UA. Like,
it's crazy. I realized that too. Like when they I think it was during the last episode of the episode before that.
I bring this up every time.
It's
like
only,
My Hero has a season.
It's technically been only 1 calendar year or less. That's absolutely nuts. Because everything just went to shit in a year. Like what?
Yeah, but yeah, that's my issue. Like it should have been spread out throughout the 3 years that Deku's been in, or that 1A has
been. Or like you had 7 seasons to develop these certain heroes and you really don't. And one
My
of the
only
things
thought
you try
process,
to do doesn't really
yeah.
work.
my only thought process to that is just like, well, and I guess that's why they skip over it, because I think after this they just go straight to him being an adult, right? There's no there's no year 2, year 3. There's no point in it because they're already the number 1 heroes at this stage by now. You save the
After this war arc, they
Don't spoil
moved
it.
into
Don't
second
spoil
year.
it.
Don't spoil. Don't spoil.
Well, I was just gonna say like time skips happen.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's to be expected, I would suppose, because there's not,
But
and that can be a
but yeah,
negative
no,
because it's not linear from that perspective, where it should be like year 1, year 2, year 3 adult, then fast forward. Like, no, it's just like year 1 adult.
yeah,
And
like
loses
the
points.
whole shit with Mezzo and Koji, that should have like they only introduced this like last minute. Like
I feel
Horikoshi,
like they're okay though, because of the fact that they're really low end characters in terms of the class themselves, and so you have those late bloomers, and so
yeah,
it
but
took them
like
this long. It took them for them to almost die in a war for them to really be like, oh shit, I know who I am, I know where I'm destined to be. This,
well,
and
no, that
that's not
even that.
terrible.
Like not even that. Like the whole mutant type quirks get discrimination against. That would have been pretty cool to know like earlier, or like to just mention it. Uh, Other characters like
You could
the
have
only
slow built
characters
that, yeah. You could have thrown that in there, like, ugh, you fucking whale, or
the
whatever
only
the fuck it is.
that
Yeah,
have gotten any sort of like character development are the big three: Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Ochako because she's main love interest, Ida because of the whole Stain arc, and that's really it.
well, we get some with
Hero
Froppy. We
comes
get
up,
some
Hero comes
with Knight. What's his dick? Right?
Tokiyami.
Tokiyami. Like, yeah, we
Not
get
really.
something.
Like, yeah, sure. He had his whole thing during the field trip arc where he's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna lose control because I have because
Well, they have
my
the tier system. You
from the
have your
shadow."
top 3 in Ochako, that's S tier, and then you have like the lower A, B tier, and then you have like everybody else's C tier, and then you got fucking useless Aoyama and what's his face with the fucking
Meta.
yeah, the most useless fucking guy on the show. I don't know how he's still alive.
Well, yeah, but like you gotta remember, Aoyama was that way on purpose, and then fucking Horikoshi forgot that he like was the traitor.
Yeah, they forgot all about the
Horikoshi
arc,
forgot
so
the
they
traitor.
added
He
it
forgot.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, like he only remembered like right before, like right at the end of the first war arc. Because someone asked him at a convention.
So this won't win adaptation of the season anytime soon, if ever.
No.
Well, no, it's going by the adaptation well. It's just that the original source material is terribly paced, and
Clearly,
and
yeah, it seems that way. That's fair.
they needed to. He needed to make it longer.
That's what she said.
Yep.
The dude. All right. For me, number 6. Issues aside, I think there was still some play to enjoy. I'm giving it to Roshidere. It's more, you know what? Some of the characters was fine. I liked the chemistry with Masa and Alia, and Masa and Yuki. Yuki definitely did carry the show till they definitely cooled her off, mostly with the whole student council arc being like the last few episodes. That probably could have been 2, maybe 3, not like 4 to 5, or like about half of it. It didn't need to be half of it.
It's not over. That's the other thing. It's not even over.
That's the problem. Yeah, and like
this has been like a semester.
Yeah,
they're just starting summer break. Or
like it took away from the romance a little bit. And it's like, oh, that's a little disappointing. Now it's about who's the next god of high school, but more or less, that's what student councils are. Let's be real here; they're higher than God. That's, and it's not good that Alia again mostly got outshined by Yuki. Like that wasn't for Alia.
But I will counter that point by saying that Alia's demeanor, the way it's written, makes that happen. And we get to double-edged sword, which is appreciated, where Yuki is basically she's two-faced. She's crazy absolute batshit like what's it called, brother syndrome with her brother when they're in private, but no one knows outside of Ayano that they're siblings in their actual lives, their day-to-days in which they spend the majority of their time, which is in school. On top of that, because like I said, because of Alia being timid, quiet, cold, she's not written in that way to overshadow someone with such a vibrant like existence like Yuki. So I don't perceive that as too much of a negative. That's just the way that I perceive the characters.
Well, if it keeps happening, it's gonna be a problem.
And Matt, to go further into like your point about the student council taking most of the thing, I'm just gonna like go into my bit because this is my number 5. It helps. Like Alia basically pulls him in out of the shadows where he usually stays. Like if you remember, during the junior high elections, Kuze didn't do anything. He just stayed in the back and did what like was needed. He didn't take the spotlight. Alia's like through her crush of him is like getting him to like.
She made him a main character.
And
yeah. He just wanted to be Sid from MS and Shadow.
Without the psychopath. Or maybe a little psychopath.
But yeah, another reason why I put this at number 5 is like I typically hate the tsundere fucking trope, like character trope. I think that like most of them need to like go to therapy.
Cool down.
Issues. Yes, they're like overly violent issues. Taiga, Louise from fucking Taiga from Toradora, Louise from
Familia of Zero.
Yeah, that one. Fucking they need to just like not be violent. Just have them be like snappy and blunt and like just like
or kind of witty, but
yeah. With Alia, like she takes her like anger when Kuze does something stupid, and then like just uses her Russian to like get him to
screws out Russian, yeah.
But Kuze gets even by pulling pranks on her, like with the salsa and the sauce, and
yeah.
Like, he hates
no, the salsa was Yuki. The salsa was Yuki. Yuki fucks with her.
Yeah, but what's his face? Kuze did it too with the soup or whatever it was when they were discussing the student council when they had the meeting at the thing and he ordered it and Alia's like, I'm not a bitch, and he's like, are you sure you're not?
As a way, I wouldn't call it prank. Just she's talked about how she liked spicy foods. Like, oh well, let's see it. Let's see you actually eat it. Because I love it.
It's not like we didn't get any romance, and it's not like we didn't get any romance between them. I mean,
no, we definitely did.
Alia went over to his house to take care of him. They flirt
constantly.
Kuze not so much because it would reveal that he understands exactly everything she says.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, it's taking its time. It's not like nothing's happening. It's not like this slow burn anime is nothing's happening during it. Everything's happening. Like
there was progress, unlike Heroines, unlike Divisible, unlike Days. I'll give that over to it. Was it had more progression.
Yeah. Also, I was saying I like these. It's nice to admit I like the colors of it, especially with how they present Alia. Again,
yeah,
very gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I have fun. Like I said, I didn't hate it. It's just I still enjoyed it. But
there's other stuff better.
This is your number 5. We're at the halfway point, guys. So Starman.
All right, excuse me. All right. At the halfway point, this anime entered my top 5. I finally got the entire Double Curse, which is technically was the first and second season. Most of this anime I had seen before in its original form, but the past, few episodes were adapted from the light novel, and they had never been adapted before during the original run. I'm talking about Spice and Wolf Merchant meets Wise Wolf. I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 5.
You wanna go in? I'm normally go in. Spice has been your baby.
But I ain't gonna lie, bro. The last 10 minutes kind of drained me, boy. So I just had to move it on to the next.
All right. I'm used to being up, so I get it. All right, number 5 for me, Elusive Samurai. Elusive Samurai made my top 5. When it was all said and done, visuals, animation, stupendous. Tokiyuki, endearing. The Elusive Squad, incredible and exciting. The antagonist, if it wasn't for the fact I hate Rahel, would be up there as well for an antagonist. But Matt and I discussed this, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. We would have wanted more of him. We had more consistency with him appearing and doing stuff, he would have probably easily won antagonist as far as we're concerned, I venture to say. So a little bit of a disappointment from that perspective, but nonetheless, firmly, absolutely looking forward to a season 2. And this was one of my other surprises of the season, realistically speaking. This was another one that I didn't have on my docket, but you, Starman, and Matt in particular, and I think Chris mentioned it as well too. Like, y'all three basically told me, like, yo, if you're gonna pick up a show, pick up Elusive. And I dropped Archery to at the time to pick up Elusive. And I firmly am appreciative that I did that, because this was really, really, really one of the better surprises. The gore, the all that, just great. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it.
Okay, number 5 for me, since we are at that halfway point, Spice and Wolf.
Oh, twinsies.
I regret not watching the original when it happened. However, the fact that I got to see the reboot, I'm very glad I did.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lawrence and Hollow together. I like the adventure feel of it.
Mm-hmm.
Action is not a main thing, nor it didn't need to be, but you still had like a riot or stuff like that, or taking someone down. Stuff like that, it worked, and you got Hollow turn into a wolf a couple of times, but when it felt like it was needed to progress the story or progress a character, and I appreciate all that. The musical composition for it is also beautiful as well, nicely animated, and I'm very excited for season 2. So,
to use a wrestling reference, Matt, they booked Holo as an attraction and didn't overexpose her. And
exactly. And and she got over with the charm, sass, whatever you want to call it. That's how she got over for the most part. This her turn to the wolf for those certain scenes was just a nice bonus. It wasn't the whole story, which that's what I appreciated for that.
It was badass and elegant.
Exactly, 100%. So yeah, that's why I welcome it into the top 5 for the summer of 2024. Also, before we continue, I love the loop on thing behind you, stars. Yeah, I didn't look at it. So I was like, wait, hold on.
That's the soundtrack.
The vinyl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I see Samurai Shampoo next to it too. That's awesome. All right, number 4, Chris.
My number 4 is Elusive Samurai. I love a good revenge story. Tokiyuki pretty much coming back from the Tokiyuki rising up from the ashes of his family's destruction, building up an army with the help of the his many allies. I've just enjoyed the animation, the action, and it was just a great watch. Yeah, my like tired level is like 3 to 3. I only got like 4 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah, no, and I gotta get up at 5 to take Bash to work. I'm driving them around for most of the day.
I'm the only one that's like wide awake. Thank God for nicotine.
Yeah.
It works out here.
All right.
Starman, what do you got for number 4?
We're twinsies, man. Chris, Elusive Samurai is my number 4 for a lot of the same reasons, man. I love a good revenge story. The animation was on point. I still think that them horse episode was like, what the fuck is this shit? But they rebound real quick. They took a lot of chances, a lot of risks with the animation. It's not done. It's only getting started, and they announced the season 2. They did everything right. It's a 4 out of 5 for me.
Okay, my number 4 is Near Automata, and I want to encapsulate because you guys have said a lot about Near Automata, and I want to encapsulate by reading one paragraph from my review.
Sure.
The game and this anime show that humanity's attempts to advance can one day cause the end of existence as we know it. The story challenges the principal thought of the purpose of life, the boundary between that which is living versus that which is artificial, and the matriculation of those forces intertwining to form a new existence. The story challenges the boundaries of a limitless future, wrought with destroying the fabric of universal bounds and the roads which were paved by humanity and those which have yet to present themselves paved. In terms of such introspective thinking, the story in its back half really showed out and provided deep fodder for an intellectual discourse between folks who live within and who enjoy discussing those universal paradoxes society's begun to only scratch the surface of as our existence begins to probe the dangerous spectrum of AI in 2024. I just wanted to put that out there as I go along with the rest of Nier. I was very critical of Nier in season 1. I didn't put it on my list. I didn't get the hype behind it. Matt in particular was like, if they do it right in season 2, you'll like it. God damn, did they do it right? It was fucking awesome. This made me want to go and buy the fucking game. This really made me want to go and buy the game. If I had time, I would do it and I would play it, because this was really, really well done. And I think one of the other things that really stood out for me that made me love it so much is the parallel decline and incline of A2 and 9S, where we start the story with A2 being disillusioned with Yorha and disillusioned with the entire existence of her existence, I should say, because of all of the death and destruction that she's faced, the lies, the manipulations, the bullshit that she's endured, versus 9S being happy, go lucky, a good soldier that happens to stumble across too much, and it continues that fabric of time as it was proven in the story. To see the 360 between, or the 180s, to see the 180s between them, where you see 9S over every single episode get more disgruntled, more batshit crazy as his obsessions continue to overflow, and you get A2 that continuously shows improvement, slowly gains those human characteristics that 2B and 9S so exuberantly exuded through those the seasons up until their deaths, up until the events that occurred. I found that paradox so enthralling to see from that piece. And Matt, to your point earlier with the pods stole the show. The finale was one of the better finales I've seen in a very, very, very long time. This season 2 I thought was really, really well encapsulated, and really I think was a anime stealer in my opinion from the entire season, if I were to be frank about it. So
number 4 for me is also Elusive Samurai.
Peace.
I had a lot of fun, beautifully animated. If I had to nitpick one, I feel like sometimes the comedy were at the wrong places. But for the most part, they did work. But there were some that didn't need to be there. But again, love enjoyable characters, love the action, love the animation. I like a good revenge story if done right. But it's just fun. It's just a fun little thing to watch. And I'm season 2. I'm ecstatic. There's really not much more to say because we talked about it throughout this and the awards. So it's just what more can we say? But yeah, Blue Samurai, 100% number 4. Chris, number 3.
My number 3 is my best romance of the season, Pseudo Harem. The characters of Rin and Eiji have such a fucking great story together. I fucking love their interactions, their relationship when it finally blossomed was great, even though even after Eiji graduated high school and went on to college, They still kept their relationship strong, and I sort of wish I kept these two as my couple, but it's whatever. During the end of the series, Rin has to make a choice between her relationship or her acting career, and the two of them managed to actually find a way to pull through and live together happily at the end.
Okay. Yeah, I really wish I did watch that one during the season. I could have got rid of Twinge.
Yeah, man, that was a pretty good description of it. Like, dang, you know.
Yeah, he played an episode or two when we were at Dragon Con, and like I did pay attention.
I did watch episode 1.
But Star, you're number 3.
Top 3. All right, we had the top 3. Close this thing out. Y'all done said a lot about it, but I can't let y'all get that shit off. My number 3 is My Hero Academia, and I questioned did we watch the same show, because I honestly, bro, if I look at this whole Kurt as a whole, I do agree with some of the points. Like they did that thing that Bleach was famous for, which was starting a fight and not finishing the fight and moving on to another fight when you want to see how the fight goes. But with that said, a big plus was closing out the Todoroki fight, the Toya fight, the whole thing that kept me on the edge of my seat. I did not know how that was going to go when he turned to this fire zombie and was going to blow up and kill everyone, his whole family. I didn't expect his mom to show up. Spoilers. I didn't expect his mom to show up. I didn't expect his brothers and sisters to show up. I didn't expect for him to get silent in that moment. I think another moment was Lemillion, like he got his powers back and was like, yo, what can I do? How can, like, I was on course to be one of the number 1 heroes, and look at me, bro, when it all came down to it, bro, I'm pretty fucking useless. There's not much he could do. It's like, damn, Lemillion, you supposed to be that dude, and you out here ain't really doing shit. You know, Bakugo, man, for them to really pull a Vegeta on him, I feel like they really did pull that off in a good way. His sacrifice, it's like the internet spoiled it. Twitter or X, whatever you call it, they couldn't wait to spoil his demise or near demise. And just seeing that, even me knowing it was happening, it didn't lessen the blow when I finally see it happen. Like, yo, oh my God, like easy. The fuck, and it's just like All For One was really just a villain of all villains. That was my real villain of the season. It wasn't that damn cat, even though fuck that cat. It really was, bro. He was like, bro, this man was like incarnate evil, bro. He gave no fuck. He was indifferent to anybody's. He just didn't care. He just wanted chaos. He just wanted to see his goals. So, them taking it off of Deku, even though he got a lot of shine, them taking it off of him and being able to focus on these other characters, it built up. And now they're about to give All Might this Iron Man fucking suit. And I'm like, oh yeah, boy, I was waiting for him to do some Batman shit. You ain't got superpowers. We can give you technology. I was waiting for that shit. That's the only downside is we didn't get that shit before it cliffhanger said to be continued. Like, so it's still ongoing with what it's doing. But Uraka's like, man, her final fight was like just crazy because she was like, yo, I'm gonna reach this girl. I'm gonna save this girl emotionally. And it was just about saving people, not about locking them up or catching them. Hawks lost his fucking powers, bro. Took them shits just right there. I didn't see that shit coming. They just hit me with too many surprises. They just had me on the edge of my seat. Now, the difference between y'all experience and my experience is I watched the entire second core in 24 hours. I watched these last episodes within the past 24 hours. I binged the entire second core in like a day. In a day, I watched every episode back to back to back to back to back to back. Like I took a lunch break, picked right back up and kept going. So that's what added to me is I could just go next. When no suspense, it was just next. It just kept going. So I think I got a much better experience watching it continuously back to back.
That makes sense.
But because I had that great experience and it was dubbed, minus the last 2 episodes, man, that thing was a whole. It's still a 4 out of 5 for me. But I feel like they can close this thing out as long as the manga fans really shut the fuck up and don't try to spoil it for everybody.
That's great.
All right, Ethan, number 3.
It's time to talk about Days with My Stepsister. I'm gonna preface this with 2 paragraphs this time from the review.
Just keep it under 10 minutes.
It won't be that long. We'll start here. Yes, here we go. Okay. The show does a unique job of providing time lapse as the show goes on, showing an almost daily progression from March until September. 6 months of cataloging feelings some may never fathom achieving. The ups and downs, the uncertainty, the angst, the depression, and anxiety, all captured between these two individuals. A central focus of the show is Saki, who writes in a diary her most inner feelings, which are then broadcast when we see her side of the events after the show focuses primarily on Yuta's throughout. The cinematic display for the season also stands out as its tone almost in a motion picture like setting as the daily scenes, both internal and external, flash through the screen, while an absolutely brilliant musical composition underscores every possible animation the anime gives the viewer. The animation focuses heavily on body language, providing the viewer with an even more empathetic response to the feelings conveyed. From tears, smirks, shivers, and shakes, curiosity, jealousy, and much more, all conveyed through intricate body language that lends credence to the story. In addition, the baseline of past trauma with the other absent parent, abandonment for Yuta, and abuse for Saki have led both to be despondent to the opposite sex, not realizing the emotional scars of their past and how they've grown up in a single family home have shaped their current iterations of self, and how the other person, without even trying, managed to shatter the barriers they've put to protect themselves, leaving them vulnerable to the most simplest of actions on either side that are magnified because of their heightened states. The side characters are all phenomenal and all participate in helping our forbidden couple find answers they wouldn't have found on their own. Finally, the principal story of a forbidden love, intrinsic in nature, despite the pair only being step siblings, is very tastefully done. One singular sexual scene done early on, which was not done for the sake of it, but rather done to convey a teen girl unsure of her next move, thinking that sex would make something clear or answer something unknown. The sole emphasis is truly on the emotional side, which is pure and deeply sewn over 12 episodes, and not simply lustful in nature, is how I would encapsulate that. When it's all said and done, Days with My Stepsister touches a lot of that teen angst that I alluded to during part one. When you really look at the way that they built it, it really was a attempt to make the viewer empathetic to these two characters. And when you lose yourself in the fact that they are step siblings, there is a very unique and very drawn out build to their love. This isn't something that happens over random. This isn't something that happens, from a sexual perverted manner. This is literally two broken souls that basically come together and find their ways, not only within like their personal feelings for in a romantic way, but in terms of their truest selves at their most vulnerable times as young adults and how they're shaping themselves as they progress through their final year of high school. I think that's really brilliantly well told. I underscore the musical composition. It really does, really does underscore things from that empathetic perspective. The body language is absolutely key. When you look at like shots of them like in the mirror with smirks, when you look at them looking out the window, contemplative, when you see them looking down, twiddling thumbs, curiously like thinking abroad. And then we get their actual inner thoughts overlaid over that at times. I just thought it was really artistically done. And again, as I said, this is one of the most absolutely underrated shows for me that I have had the pleasure of watching in such a long time. And, again, it's really hard, I understand, for many people to kind of get the principle of like step siblings out of the way because it's a forbidden thing, but it's not full on incest, and nothing of the sort. It really was tastefully done. When it's all said and done, I think the major downside is in the finale. Although the finale was really beautiful from the fact that they both confirmed their feelings, there's still questions that linger. There's still hesitancy from both of them because they understand the ramifications of these feelings. They understand that they cannot present themselves in public. They understand that they can't devout themselves to each other openly because of the family dynamic. They don't want to ruin what their parents, their mother and their father respectively have built after all the drama and bullshit they went through when Saki's dad basically abused them and dipped, when Yuta's mom basically cheated and then dipped and abandoned her husband and her son. They don't want to break that up because their both parents have found happiness within each other, and they expect the children to find happiness with themselves. They have, but they found it in a very taboo way. But the taboo itself isn't nearly as problematic as one would automatically assume without having any prior deposition to the principal underlying story from that piece. And that's something, again, I really want to underscore is that aspect, along with the cinematic pieces and a bunch of other things that go along. So it's one of the reasons why I consistently rated Stepsister so high, so damn high, and I appreciated the absolute fuck out of it. I couldn't reasonably give it a 5, but it's really up there. It's a 4.5. I'd say 4.5. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me, and this is easily one of my biggest recommendations of the season. Besides, I'd say honestly my top 5 are all recommendations, but this is one of my bigger ones, bar none.
Okay. All right. Okay. Number 3, Oshinoko. I loved it. I liked the other two better, but I still prefer season 1 of Oshinoko compared to season 2. And that was my favorite when that came out. Like, and I had those episodes that made me go, holy shit, or jaw drop, or fucking wow. Like the first episode with fucking Ai, or when they were focused on Akane during the bullying thing. With this season, I didn't have anything that maybe had that same feeling. Like, it was nice, but I wasn't as encapsulated. Like, I liked the stuff with Akane. I liked the stuff with Kana. I liked Aqua's growth. Ruby really took a backseat until like the last 2 episodes, and she's supposed to like be this main character, but she just has not felt like one. Season 3, that should change. Hopefully, it depends on how they do this. But yeah, like, as much as I give it praise, I wouldn't consider it a number 1 for me. For the stuff that I have said, if people have it as number 1, yeah, sure, that's totally fine. Just didn't hit for me as season 1 for me to love it that same or equal. So yeah, number 3, Oshinoko. All right, number 2, Chris.
My number 2 is Mission Yozakura Family. My how do I put it? Comeback to classic shonen. I feel like this did a really good job with both seasons to like bring back the original feeling of like some of the most or at least one of my favorite shonen series, Hitman Reborn, bringing in a normal kid into a life that like he had no part of, and then him doing it in order to him going along with it due to his wanting to protect his childhood friend and not wanting to die. As the season went on, I enjoyed watching Tayo grow as a character, not being a helpless character who can't really do much to taking on this huge organization bent on pretty much ethnic cleansing, I guess, or no, mass genetic modification of civilians. And this season ended strong. I really loved it.
Okay.
The only reason why it's not number one is because I would have loved more romance between the two characters because they are married straight from the get go. They only go on like one date, and I would have liked to see more like chemistry between them.
Okay. Starman, you're number 2.
My number 2, my dose. Don't worry. I don't have a 7-minute monologue with a few paragraphs. I'm gonna keep this simple and short. This anime, I let you get that Stepsisters off because I just ain't had the energy to be like, what the fuck? But you were in your essay, man. I'm glad you stood in front of the class. Dead demons, dead destruction. I had to say that one more time before we close out this part. That's my number 2. I saw a lot of anime, and that one took a while to get cooking, but there was no other anime like it at all. It just wasn't. It was just nothing else like it, and it was just first episode was like, oh my god, it was the episode 0, and then from there they suck you into these characters, and you gotta see why are they friends, what are their friendships like, what are their bonds like, why is this important? And it's like, okay, so this shit done turned to a whole slice of life. Okay, so and then somebody commits suicide and someone unalives themselves, I should say, and time stops. And man, when this sci-fi shit get cooking, oh my god, they was just cooking. They just started cooking the sci-fi up real hard, and adding some alien genocide, and we got a series. And it just kept getting worse from aliens. And then on one hand, you felt bad for the aliens. Then on the other hand, you was like, they saying shit like, yeah, we're gonna make these humans pets. And then you actually get to see that, oh, these ain't the aliens, these are just their suits. Then you see their actual faces and it just fucks you up. And it's just like, yo, this anime is just weird. But I love the Yosobayon mascot. I want a Yosobayon t-shirt. Hint, hint, if anybody my Secret Santa, you know what I'm saying? I think that'd be dope. But nah, this series was dope. I had so much fun. It took 6 episodes to get cooking, but once it got rolling, it got better and better and better. So that's my number 2, my runner up. Coming in at a 4 out of 5.
All right, Ethan. Wistoria.
Yep, Wistoria. Not much more I can really add to it. Again, I'm a simpleton. I enjoyed it so damn much. There was so many elements to the show that just made me go, whoa, what the fuck? This is awesome. This is amazing. Each fight got better and better and better. Will just, for all of his faults, got more and more badass. I love Colette. I don't think enough has been said about Colette this entire night. Colette is one of my favorite characters in the season.
Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed the shit out of Colette. Kiki, you talk about that fucking cat. Kiki is that fucking cat in a great way. Love Kiki. Kiki is the shit. And then I mean, look, when it boiled down to it, just it's a badass show. It really truly is the encapsulation of like of a Black Clover meets a Mashal meets the One Punch Man, like we had said at the beginning. Like it really is the truest Harry Potter anime out of the Harry Potter anime that we've seen. I've yet to finish Mashal. Eventually I will. But in any case, like to me, it's the truest form of that. I enjoyed the absolute hell out of Wistoria. And while I find absolutely no faults whatsoever in any of the criticisms any of you have given, and I actually agree with a lot of them, I feel like I'm treating Wistoria as a guilty pleasure. This is one of my absolute most guilty pleasures of the show because it was just so fucking awesome. I looked forward to this show so damn probably I look forward to this show realistically probably more than any other show week by week the entire season. I genuinely feel that way, even above Stepsister. Stepsister was up there, but I think I couldn't wait to see the next episode of Wistoria, even above my number 1, which y'all have figured out by now.
Yeah, I kind of wrote both yours and Sean's.
Oh, if it's not Stepsister, then I wonder what it could be.
Yeah. But yeah, number 2 for me, Dead Demons, DD Destruction. I really wanted to give this number 1. If they did in the whole, you have to rewatch episode 0 to get to the finale. If that didn't happen, yeah, this would have been number 1. I really wish it had one more episode though, because it hyped up as 18. All of a sudden, oh, psych, episode 0 was 18. But I didn't freaking like that. That just threw me off guard. I was like, really thought we were getting one more because it really did need one more. Outside of that, it took a while. Took a while to cook, but when it did, it definitely did. And that beautiful. Actually, the second last episode was probably my favorite episode of the season, which is how they did everything with the destruction of Tokyo. That's that giant blast, getting rid of nearly everybody. I'm like, holy! Even the
eat your heart out, jujitsu.
Like even the fucking brother's monologue with the letter that he wrote for Anton, like that was really nice. And I also watched the dub, and the dub voice actors were really good. So I enjoyed it, like the sci-fi elements of it. There was drama when it was there, and that's the stuff that Starman has said. I can't add more on top of that. It's just I really wish that one more episode probably could have been that deciding factor to put it as a number 1 for me. But I'm still happy with it as a number 2. So Dead Demons Destruction, number 2. Hey. I wrote everyone's number 1 except for Chris's. So Chris, what's your number 1?
I can guess it.
What is it?
Fairy Tale 100-Year Quest.
No, that's continuous.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
Is it Monogatari?
No. It's Shy season 2.
Oh, okay.
Shy. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, Shy, like, not only did she, like, she grew as a character compared to season 1. Season 1, Shy, she was just female Deku, where she couldn't really talk to people. She couldn't get her thoughts out. She like did what she had to, but like this in season 2, she went out of her way to do what needed to be done, like without the like usual hesitation she had. She went out of her way and it rocked. This whole season, it introduces so many new characters, including more of Amariku. I forgot the fucking people organization. It just did so much well, so many good things, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Nice.
Awesome.
That definitely a surprise.
With it.
What did you think it was, Matt?
No, I thought it was Monogatari. Because I know you like that one a lot. What?
I like to meme it because, like, oh man, who doesn't like to see the tooth crushing scene?
I gotta binge that whole series. It's sitting in my queue, but one day I'm gonna just knock the whole thing out.
Same.
One day, knock the whole thing out, start to finish, knock it out.
All right, guys. Since you guys pretty much have the same one, go ahead. What was yours?
My number 1 show of the anime season was none other than Love Indivisible by Twins.
All right. I love it. Let's go.
Wait.
I thought he said he didn't rank it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
Bro, that was by far the greatest anime like show at this season. All right, let me stop bullshitting y'all. All right, it was Oshinoko season 2. Oshinoko season 2.
My heart dropped to my ass. I was like, what?
Had to fuck with him. Oh,
what?
This man was like, what? You like the disbelief on your face is like, damn, bro. Like, I don't even know.
It was fucking bullshit.
I was like, nobody's buying this shit. I should have said, yo, it's VTuber Relations. I didn't think you watched that. Like, fuck, I need to find a show that. Damn it. But yeah, man, Oshinoko. There's not much I can say that hasn't already been said. They answered questions that I wanted answered. even faked us out a little bit along the way. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is too good to be true. Why I ain't buying this shit. Aqua, what the fuck? But no, I thought it was cool. I didn't have to deal with Connor's bitch ass bitching most of the series. They kept her quiet. They put a muzzle on her. Goddamn, it was a shame. I really like Ruby.
My face is like you cut. What the fuck?
Oh, I know. I know he didn't like it either, so it's okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, her bell pepper steak ass got to be quiet. I'm happy, you know, but, you know, Ruby didn't really say shit. And I was like, damn, where Ruby at? But, nah, man, I really thought everything else on the show was pretty dope. I liked it. So with that being said, Oshinoko is, I don't know the fuck. I'm sorry. I got some random bug. Anyway, Oshinoko season 2. It's a winner for me, man. 4.5 out of 5. Technically, that's a 9. It's not as good as season 1, but it's very close. It's very, very close because they gave us a different introspection, like doing the play and adaptations and explaining that they did one thing they didn't do in season 1 that they couldn't do, which was they took different episodes and they focused on these background characters that you don't care about necessarily and will never ever pop up again. And they took the risk of spending an entire episode on these characters just to make this play make more sense and for you to really dive and care about the actors. And I thought that was, I love when animes take risks, and I thought it paid off.
Okay. 2 things to piggyback off of that and a paragraph from my show, for my review.
20 minutes.
In terms of the piggybacking, right? I agree. I definitely agree that it's not better than season 1, but to me, it's still a 5 out of 5 in my opinion. The second thing is Starman. I'm not going to spoil you whatsoever, but they've done a great job of setting things up for season 3. I went ahead and spoiled myself, and I was telling Matt this off the air. When I read the stuff, I don't feel it's a spoiler. I feel I'm more hyped to what's to come, because what's to come is going to blow your fucking mind. And that's all I'll say in regards to that. In terms of piggybacking it, I said it from the jump. Oshinoko, barring something incredible coming out, will forever, always, I think, be my number 1 off rip. It's going to take a mountain, a monster of a show to ever not make me put this as number 1 during an Oshinoko season. And I'll encapsulate my thoughts with my sentence here. As usual, everything about this show stands out. The top tier animation and visuals, the excellent musical composition, and the top-notch storytelling full of drama, surprises, mystery, hilarity, and darkness. Oshi is a standout in today's anime community, as every episode always delivers and always sets the series up for bigger and more awe-inspiring moments week after week, season after season. From powerful performances by the leads to the critical contributions of side characters, nothing is missed from a storytelling perspective. A show that will keep you on the edge of your seat, make you laugh, and leave your jaw on the floor, leaving the viewer begging for more and trying their damnedest to avoid spoilers. Oshi is a series that continues to come in with high expectations, only to shatter them positively. And that's about the only way I can just firmly encapsulate Oshinoko as a season. It's phenomenal. It's a standout drama. I think it's a cornerstone. It is an anime cornerstone in drama and storytelling, the which that not many, very, very, very low number, even come in the same ballpark, in my opinion, as them.
Chris, does he know?
I know enough. We talked about this. I don't know everything, but I know enough to be dangerous about what's to come.
Does he know?
I don't want to know.
No, you don't. Yeah, number 1, Nier Automata.
What?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm very surprised.
Your moves mean nothing. I see what makes you cheer.
I'm really surprised when you put Oshi at 3. I knew you were going to put this at 1.
I should have figured it out then. I was just like, Oshi at 3.
Yeah, if he put Oshi at 3, I would say this had to be 1.
I thought, okay, so DDD ain't 1, then damn,
It took me a minute, but then I figured it out, and I was like, it makes total sense.
No, like I said, DDD was very, very close.
You know what's funny though about DDD? I'll go backwards real quick to you, Matt. Is I think on at least one or two, and definitely one, and maybe on two instances during our weekly episodic reviews, you forgot all about it completely.
I know, because usually they had the thing in fucking spring and not summer. There's like no continual, no ONA phase. So I was looking at the MAL for summer, so it's not on there. It's
so I'm like, I noticed that too with a couple of shows.
So
I'm just like, really how can something you forget about more than one time be your number 2 anime? That took me a little bit aback. But
no, because one of it, I know one of the times was when it wasn't even cooking, so I was like, I might drop it, I might quit.
To be number 2, wow, what a comeback!
Yeah, and the other one just genuinely forgot.
Anyway, go ahead and gush. Please gush about Nier Automata.
Oh, you gush. Let me gush.
Gush all over.
I will, damn it. No, I loved everything that they have done with it to bring it to life. And I felt like there's a lot of stuff they did compared to the games better. Like 2B's death, like how they handled 9S's struggles with his slowly turn the mask to when he got corrupted with the virus, and just the actual pain that he's been feeling after Earth. Like, he just did not care about. He doesn't care if it's a never-ending cycle with Yoha, just so I can die over and over again. As long as he gets to be with 2B, that's the emotion in his voice, his expressions, everything like that. This 9S carried the show, even if he became corrupted at the end. He was still a big part of it, along with A2. And 2B saw that the only way it had to end is if she died. And also on top of that, with the bunker blowing up, there is no more backing up data into another body. That is it. And the only way that was able to be fixed in the true ending was the pods to sacrifice themselves to make that happen, so that 2B and 9S can have this life, even though there is no more humanity. So the entire world is just empty.
Are they reborn human?
No.
They're just reborn androids again.
Yeah, they got their data, they backed them up. It's backed up.
Okay. I thought for some reason I thought they would have like had a miracle.
And I like the little cameo with Accord that helped repair A2. That was nice. Pascal, excellent. Even how they did his ending was different, and I really liked that. Because in the game, he just watched everyone die, and he asked A2 to kill him. Either kill him or make him erase his memory. They just did this completely different, and I like that. That was a nice change.
He was a good star because I didn't care about Pascal in season 1, and I cared a lot more about
baby, zombie robot baby, bitch, fuck you up, got your virus.
Bit him, and he just said, "I'm gonna blow up."
Yeah, no, I cared about Pascal 10 times more in season 2 than I did in season 1.
Yeah, the music helped. I love. It's still the same music from the video game. It still worked. I wish we heard more of Weight of the World, because that is a beautiful song. We didn't get all of it. I wish we did. It ended nicely. Are we going to get more Nier projects? No, I would love to see Nier Replicant, but I don't think that is going to happen. But no, I was very happy with it, and I really had no complaints. So yeah, number 1, Nier Automata for me.
I think we got a good list, and realistically, I feel like after 7-ish, we were kind of all relatively similar.
Yeah, there are some we had the same, some we did not.
Yeah.
And guys, this is it. Before we leave, real quick, we're gonna run down our fall watch lists. Chris, you watching the whole catalog, right?
No, I'm actually. I got like 37 because fucking no. 38 Fairy Tail and Toxicatsu are fucking no. I have 2 more continuals because they didn't end. That didn't get marked on the.
This is why I said the whole. So that's the whole catalog. Is what you're trying.
No, it's not the whole catalog.
The whole catalog realistically is like 55 or so anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Almost 60. Yeah.
So I have like 2/3 of the catalog.
God damn.
Okay, so here we go. From my list, I'm just gonna start off with the continues. Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest, Tatsuketsu, Fate of the Majority, 2.5D Seduction, Sengoku Yoku, which still hasn't come back. Tower of God Season
It comes
2.
back tomorrow.
There we go. Those are my... Huh?
It comes back today. So Sengoku. It comes back today.
Okay, so
Let's
now
go
here we
back.
go from my fucking actual list. ReZero Season 3. I'm probably gonna drop Uzumaki because because of all those fucking the decrease in fucking animation. From episode 1 to episode 2. They changed fucking animation studios, by the way. That's why it looks so bad.
I know.
Based Blue Lock Season 2, Based Dandadan, Seirei Gensoki Season 2, Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War Season 3, Aifareta Season 3, Danmachi Season 5, Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, Blue Exorcist Season 4, Ron Season 2, Kami God App Season 2, Blue Box, You Are Miss Servant, 365 Days to Wedding, Ranma One Half, Yakuza Fiance, Loner Life in Another World, Hitting on Amagami Sisters, Rurouni Kenshin Season 2, Hanako-kun, whenever that comes out, The White Mage in the Party.
It came out yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. The White Mage in the Party was banished, even though he's the strongest. And the Movements of the Earth. Nina the Starry Bride. Notorious Talker runs the strongest clan. Blue Wolves of Mibu. Meku Ude. How I Intended an Old Guy Mixer. Let This Grieving Soul Rest. Magic Lumiere. Murder Mystery of the Dead. Acro Trip. And I'll Become the Villainess Who Goes Down in History. Woo.
All right, Starman.
I'm undecided on most of my list. And yeah, so I'm definitely watching Re:Zero. Haven't started. I started Dan to Dan. I plan to watch Bleach, but I'm watching that dub, and I plan to binge that at the end of the season. Shangri-La Frontier is at the top of my list. I will be threading that as well. What else? Rama, I'm threading, so I'm watching that currently. That's a dual day dub. Shout out to Netflix for that. Yakuza Fiance was already something I was supposed to thread, but I'm kind of like not watching new shit until later today. That is all that I have on my list at this moment.
Okay. Vivian.
My list slowly grew, but it's still the shortest one. And I should we preface this by saying this may be the last show that we get for a while, depending on where I'm caught up on.
Well, I'm
Okay.
still doing it. Yeah, so it might be yours for a little.
As I said, my show. That's the last show I'm doing.
Yeah.
TBD. I decided to start.
He's probably gonna be on a part-time schedule
because I've got to go through this book to start studying, so I can try and make $100,000 before in 2025.
Yeah. So you'll probably see more of Chris and Starman throughout the season.
But I will be here when I catch up because I don't have as much nearly. I have Tower of God returning. That's my only continual. As for the rest of the season, I'm trying to pull it back up now because I just lost it. Son of a bitch. There we go. Bleach, Re:Zero, Blue Box, which I just picked up and I watched episode 1. Fucking fantastic. Ranma, Kenshin season 2, Ron Komanahashi Forbidden Deduction season 2. What's it called? It's a Tower of God already. Sword Art Online Gun Gale Online season 2. Binged the whole season 1 in a couple days. That was great. Yakuza Fiance. Sean, you're gonna love Yakuza Fiance. 365 Days to Wedding. How I Ended Up in an All Boys Mixer. Really cute. Saw that one. What else do I have? Trillion Game. Need to start that. And that's it I have on Mal, and I have a couple more that are on Analyst. Let me go browse a popular format TV show.
Were you picking up Blue Box?
I picked up Blue Box. I watched episode 1 and I love it.
What the fuck is that
So
about?
good.
Batman and
Love
associate.
It's a school romance that focuses on a male, the boy playing badminton and the girl playing basketball.
Gorgeously animated. That's another one you would like, dude. It's another
Netflix,
one you
it's
would like.
not dub.
Yeah, it's dub.
No dub.
No dub. Oh, okay.
No dub means no go for Sean. Dragon Ball Daima is another one. Blue Me Burrow is another one. And then my last one, assuming that it's available, it's at the bottom of the list, so it may not be, but we'll fuck around and find out. Tono no Ino, which is a dog anime. I'm looking forward to that. So what is that?
Oh, man. Is it gonna be better than the last dog anime you watched?
Probably, because that's nothing but ecchi. All right, Ichi, Ni, San, Shi, Go, Roku, Nana, Hachi, Kyu, Ju, Ichi, Ju, Ni, Ju, San. 13. I have 13 on the dot. Oh, sorry, Ju-Yon. I have 14. 14 anime this season. The lowest I've had in a while.
All right. My continuals is 2.5, Dimensional Seduction, and Sengoku Yoko. And for my new ones, we have ReZero. Still need to watch that. Dan, really fucking good. I'm going to keep Uzumaki. Hanako-kun, it's another 4-episode one. So Uzumaki and Hanako will be done in October. Blue Lock, cannot wait. We got Bleach. Blue Box is fantastic. Shangri-La Season 2, cannot wait. You Are Miss Servant. I really liked the first episode. Ranma and a Half. Dragon Ball Daima. Tower of God, unfortunately. Forbidden Abduction Season 2. New one I picked up, thanks to you, Chris. Orb on the Movements of the Earth. Fucking love it. Rurouni Kenshin Season 2. Sumo Show. It's that my wife becomes an elementary school student. Positive, Negative Angler. Do I have any more? Trillion Game. That one is a potential drop. God App Season 2. And I believe that is it for me. And then Beastars whenever that comes out in December. What? Ron
Season 2.
I said that. I said Forbidden Deductions.
Oh, that's right. That is its name. I just call it fucking Ron.
Forbidden Deduction is easier than Ron Kon Manahashi. Matt, realistically, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you may drop Trillion, so we only have about 7 together. 8, including Tower of God.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about this season is right now I have like 6, 7 shows, but I'm not going to end at like 13 or 14. I just
That's
know.
okay. I have a lot that are going into 2025, so those aren't even going to qualify.
Yeah, I mean at this point, I'm picking the ones I like, and then I had a good friend of mine. She hits me up every season to get me Rex. Like Sean, it's like, yo, Sean Rocco, what are you watching this upcoming season? This time I had to tell her, like, Sean, I'm still watching stuff from summer, so ask me in 2 days. So I'll hit her back probably on Thursday, because Wednesday gonna be my only anime day, and Thursday. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do nothing Thursday. Thursday I got too much shit to do. So tomorrow's gonna be my anime day.
But with that, summer is officially over.
It's
the
fall.
cafe is closed. I'm going to be really quick with the plugs, or not even do them because it's late. Follow Chris Zephyr, CRYSEPHYR. Follow Starman, aka Starman. Follow Ethan at Showstopper24, Anime Daisuke 24. Follow me at Damien Phoenix 12 or Otalku Cafe at our Otalku Cafe Anime. Thank you, Dershowitz Radio, WT Network, and Chairshot Media for hosting on your platforms. Thank you, Sean, for being our editor. And we will be back next week with first impressions for fall. Oyasumi and good night.
Sayonara, minasan.
Bye-bye.
When the sun goes to sleep, I find myself in a heap because it hurts so much to be away from you. It makes my day when I get a text from you. But still I say goodbye again. Let's hope this isn't the last time that I see your face. But hey, it's fine. I know everybody needs a little space. There's no one to blame. Goodbye again. Let's hope this isn't the last time that I hear your voice. But it's your choice. I can't keep you here forever. Just promise me that you'll come back.